Have you ever noticed how your grocery bill seems to get higher every year, even if you're buying the same things? That's not your imagination, it's inflation. Inflation is one of the most powerful and misunderstood forces in our economy. It quietly affects everything: your savings, your salary, and even the value of your home. In this video, we'll break down what inflation actually is, what causes it, how it's measured, and how it impacts you and the entire economy. Stay until the end, because understanding inflation isn't just economics, it's personal finance power. Section 1. What is inflation? In simple terms, inflation is the general increase in prices of goods and services over time. That means your money loses some of its power. What 100 could buy last year might cost 110 this year. On average, things cost more than they used to. As prices rise, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. That's what we call a loss of purchasing power. To track inflation, economists use tools like the Consumer Price Index, or CPI. The CPI measures price changes in a basket of everyday goods, things like food, rent, transportation, and energy. So when the CPI rises, it means inflation is increasing, and life is getting more expensive. Section 2. What causes inflation? Inflation doesn't just happen by chance. It has clear causes, and usually, several are happening at once. Let's look at the three main ones. Demand pull inflation: when demand exceeds supply, too many people buying, not enough goods available. Imagine everyone gets a pay raise and starts buying new cars, but manufacturers can't build cars fast enough. Prices start to rise. That's demand pull inflation, too much money chasing too few goods. B. Cost push inflation: this happens when the cost of making products goes up. For example, if oil prices spike, transportation and production become more expensive. Businesses pass those higher costs to consumers. That's cost push inflation. C. Built-in inflation: the wage price spiral. Workers see prices going up, so they ask for higher wages. Businesses raise prices again to cover those higher wages, creating a feedback loop. That's the wage price spiral, inflation feeding on itself. Section 3. How inflation is measured. So, how do we actually measure inflation? Economists use a few key indicators. 1. Consumer Price Index, CPI. As we mentioned earlier, it measures the average price change of everyday goods and services. It's the most common way to track inflation. 2. Producer Price Index, PPI. This one looks at prices before products reach consumers, the wholesale or producer level. If producer prices rise, consumer prices often follow. 3. GDP deflator. This is the broadest measure. It reflects price changes for all goods and services produced in an economy. It gives a more complete picture than the CPI. Section 4. The effects of inflation. Inflation isn't always bad, but it has a big impact on almost every part of the economy. Let's explore the main effects, both negative and positive. 1. Purchasing power. As prices rise, your money buys less. If inflation is 10%, something that costs 100 today will cost 110 next year. Unless your income rises too, your real income, what your money can actually buy, falls. 2. Savings. Inflation erodes savings. If your bank pays 5% interest but inflation is 10%, your real return is -5%. That's why investors often look for assets that grow faster than inflation, like stocks or real estate. 3. Wages and income. If wages don't keep up, workers lose purchasing power. But in strong economies, rising wages can push prices even higher, again feeding the wage price spiral. 4. Businesses. Inflation creates uncertainty. It becomes harder for companies to plan for the future or set prices. Some firms raise prices often to protect profits, which can damage customer trust. Still, businesses that adjust quickly can sometimes benefit in the short term. 5. Borrowers and lenders. Here's where inflation can be unfair. Borrowers benefit because they repay loans with cheaper money worth less than when they borrowed it. Lenders lose because the money they repaid has less real value. 6. The economy as a whole. A moderate level of inflation, around 2 to 3%, is considered healthy. It encourages spending and investment. But when inflation becomes high or unpredictable, it destroys confidence and slows growth. Extreme cases, called hyperinflation, can collapse entire economies. Countries like Zimbabwe and Venezuela are famous examples. Conclusion: so, inflation isn't just about rising prices, it's about how our money, wages, and economy all interact. It's normal, it's constant, and it's powerful. The key takeaway? A little inflation keeps the economy moving, but too much can stop it in its tracks. If you want to protect yourself, stay informed, invest wisely, and understand how inflation changes the value of your money. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more clear, simple videos on business, money, and economics.